In the bustling streets of ancient Alexandria, where the great library stood as a beacon of knowledge, lived a woman who dared to challenge the boundaries of her time. Her name was Hypatia, and her story is one that still echoes through the centuries. Picture this. It's the late 4th century, a time when women were expected to remain silent and submissive. Yet there she was, walking through the streets in her philosopher's robes, commanding respect from scholars and students alike. Hypatia wasn't just any teacher. She was the first well-documented female mathematician in history. The daughter of mathematician Theon, she surpassed even her father's brilliance. She would stand before crowds of eager students, both Christian and pagan, teaching complex mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. Imagine the whispers and stares as she demonstrated mathematical principles in the dust, her mind racing through calculations that would puzzle even modern scholars. But Hypatia's story isn't just about numbers and stars. It's about courage in the face of growing darkness. As Alexandria became increasingly divided by religious and political tensions, she remained a voice of reason and secular thought. She taught that truth could be found through observation and logical thinking, not just through faith and tradition. Her influence spread far beyond the classroom. Political leaders sought her counsel, and her home became a salon for intellectual discourse. In a world turning towards intolerance, she stood as a lighthouse of rational thought and open dialogue. Yet this very independence would ultimately lead to her tragic end. In 415 CE, amid political turmoil and religious fanaticism, Hypatia was brutally murdered by a mob. They couldn't bear the idea of a woman who dared to think, teach, and challenge the status quo. But here's the thing about light. Even when extinguished, it leaves an afterglow. Hypatia's legacy lives on, not just as a mathematician or philosopher, but as a symbol of intellectual freedom and the pursuit of knowledge against all odds. She reminds us that sometimes the bravest act is simply to think freely and speak truth in the face of darkness. So the next time you look up at the stars or puzzle over a mathematical problem, remember Hypatia, the woman who dared to defy the darkness and whose light still shines through the centuries.